I understand a lot of people are very confused about this impeachment inquiry, and I'm going to just break it down and make it a lot easier for you to understand in very simple terms. I'm going to give you a great analogy. You might even get a chuckle out of it. To start with, when President Trump wanted information regarding Ukraine, he was doing what presidents do, finding out if there was any corruption before deciding to have any further involvement with the Ukraine in terms of aid. It just so happens that the person that was involved from the US government was Joe Biden, who just so happens to be running for a presidential campaign. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is that President Trump decided to look into the corruption because Joe Biden was a presidential campaign. Those are two perspectives. Those are the only two perspectives that you can have. So, what's the right perspective? Drum roll, please. It's a matter of opinion. But in our constitutional republic, due process is honored, should be honored. Therefore, President Trump is innocent until proven guilty. With evidence, real evidence, facts, of which there are none. He did a presidential duty, in my opinion, based on the fact that there was corruption there, and he wanted to make sure that he knew from the horse's mouth what actually went on. Sorry that Joe Biden just happens to be a presidential candidate. That doesn't stop President Trump from doing his job. Well, I'm going to make this a little simpler for you. I'm going to give you a great analogy. Okay, it's holiday season. Thanksgiving just went by. Christmas is coming. So enjoy this one a little bit with me. But this is going to even break it down and make it even more sensible. Sam Rossi decides to have a turkey dinner and invite a gathering. We buy a large turkey, my wife and I. We have about 15 people over. We have a great time. I enjoyed the turkey, so did everyone else. No big deal, that's just normal. That's what people do. But all of a sudden, Congress decides that there's a problem with this. Here's the problem. See, Sam Rossi and his wife are now empty nesters, so they're never going to buy a turkey for the two of them. It's too much food. But Sam Rossi wants that turkey. So he calls a gathering together and therefore justifies buying a turkey. But he really just wanted the turkey. He leveraged all these people coming to his house to justify buying a turkey so he could get it. Yeah, this is how it works. Now they're going to start calling witnesses up, okay, out of this 15. So they decide they're going to pick 3 witnesses. The 3 people that don't really like me. Like for the last 20 years, they've had a grudge against me and the family. You know, some of you might have those types, but they call those 3. Larry, Mo, and Joe. Okay, I like Curly, so I'm not going to include Curly. So they bring them in for a hearing to determine the intentions of why I had a turkey dinner. So Larry is put on the stand. And Larry is asked, is it true, Larry, that Sam did not offer you turkey before he took some himself? And Larry says, that's right. Okay, Mo, please take the stand. Mo, is it correct that after the dinner, Sam fell asleep while watching football and he wasn't socializing with you at all? Like you felt like he didn't really care that you were there? And Mo says, that's right, he did fall asleep. And no, I didn't feel like he cared at all. Joe, would you please take the stand? Joe, is it true that at the end of the night, when you left Sam's place, He did not offer you any turkey to take home for the next day. Joe says, no, there was no turkey given to me. This was all about the turkey for him. He made sure he got it. Later that night, MSM gets a hold of this information. So you get a guy in a suit and a nice haircut with that intense music, that foreboding music. Today, Larry, Moe, and Joe say Sam Rossi used them to justify getting a turkey that he wanted. Credible witnesses. Tomorrow we're going to hear from them again. So, Larry, Moe, and Joe provided their opinion, and based on their opinion, we now have headline news. Opinions. No evidence, no facts, no due process. Now, in a proper due process situation, I would be able to have a lawyer that would represent me, who would also question Larry, Moe, and Joe. And Larry, Moe, and Joe would be asked all this question. Did you have a grudge against Sam Rossi for the last 20 years? And Larry, Moe, and Joe would say, well, yeah, we did. We don't really talk to him. We kind of avoid him. Okay. Larry, is it true that when Sam sat down, the turkey plate was right beside him and he was asked to take the first serving? Yeah. Okay. Moe, my lawyer asks Moe now. Moe, is it true that you also fell asleep during the football game like everybody else? Well, yeah, of course I did. Oh, okay. Joe, please take the stand. Joe, is it correct that you guys all had a second serving of turkey at the end of the night and there was no turkey left to take home? Well, yeah, technically. That's what due process would look like. Larry, Moe, and Joe would look like a complete joke. Stooges. People who obviously had a vendetta against me that were happy to skew the facts to create a narrative for themselves. Because they got it in for me. And you know what? This is exactly what's happening. And MSM is taking this garbage and sending it out as if Larry, Moe, and Joe's opinion even matters when there's no due process. So we got a real problem here because this is a sham. It is unconstitutional. It's unfair. And it's a complete exploitation of power that has been granted to the Democrat Party in Congress. It's wrong. But as we pray, I hope you'll pray what Jesus said, that you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. I believe America needs to know the truth of what's really happening here, so America can go free from all this unnecessary resentment, gossip, division in the country toward a president that is working very hard for Americans, while Congress is not focused on doing anything productive. I mean, the USMCA is just sitting on a desk. And that's huge for America and jobs and our future. I pray that the truth come out. I pray that you also will be inspired to pray.